And we welcome our viewers right here on SABC News. We thank the ministers who have been presenting their budget votes this afternoon. Minister Faith Mutambi, followed by the Minister of Sports and Recreation, Fikile Mbalula. And indeed, now you are live. This is Question Time. You're watching. A reminder that you can call us and air your views on the following numbers: 089 110 4210, 089 110 4210. And the main question really that we are dealing with here is the impact that the colonial era borders have on trade and relations, business or economic relations amongst African countries and African businessmen and women themselves here in the country or on the continent. My guests are Mr. Salman Khan, who is the president of the South African Foreigner Trade Union, and Courage Manguro is ZANU-PF Youth League representative here in South Africa. Gentlemen, welcome once again.
Thank you.
Now, I was trying to say to you here, Courage, that Zimbabwe having so many people who are working both legally and illegally. Perhaps let's just look at the dynamics of that type of an operation. How are these people affected?
Well, we definitely have those who work, legally. They are working within the environment that everybody else works. They are accorded the same rights as South Africans. Yeah. But now, obviously, for those who don't have proper documents or who are not documented at all, are finding it very difficult because the environment itself actually kicks them out of the system. They cannot really enjoy the benefits that are enjoyed by everybody else who's working legally.
Yes.
As conjugated by what we see everywhere. I have met people who work here legally, and I know how they live. The same also with people who work here illegally. I have had this chance of talking to them, and I've seen that life is very tough for them. They are not actually working in a good environment that accords them the opportunity to do whatever they want to do.
Yes.
So it is quite paramount for any foreigner, not only Zimbabweans, who have intentions of working in South Africa, to get themselves properly documented. You see? Because South African immigration rules are quite clear and straightforward. They do not segregate against foreigners, no. If a person wants to work in South Africa, they have to follow rules and regulations that are set, and then everything goes well. So it would be a problem if people continue coming to South Africa with this maybe view of finding greener pastures without proper documentation.
Yes.
Yes, hence the introduction of Operation Fiela that has been put in place by the government to ensure that everything goes well. All people who are here, all foreigners who are here in South Africa are here legally. And those who are not here legally have to be documented.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, hold the thought there. I want us to take a quick break. When we return, we'll continue with our program. This is Question Time. Please don't go away.
Information-hungry viewers stay with SABC News, as issues on the West are different from issues on the East or here in Johannesburg. So it is not surprising that people who follow the news know that there are two things for sure: that anything can happen, and SABC News will tell you when it does. Because we keep the nation fully informed. We are SABC News. Catch all these and more every day on Sports Live at 8:30 p.m. on the SABC News Channel.
Welcome back. You're still watching Question Time. My guest today, Salman Khan, is the president of the South African United Foreigner Trade Union, and Courage Manguru is a Zimbabwean national. Now, gentlemen, welcome back. And let me just remind you that you can give us a call and perhaps your views on the numbers on the screen, 089-110-4210. Let's look at the contribution which foreign nationals are making to the South African economy.
Well, I mean, if you look at it, they are entrepreneurs, they are doctors, engineers, the professionals. So there's a wide variety of the skills, set of skills the foreigners are bringing to the South Africa.
Yes.
And I think one we need to understand something very important, that if you look at the biggest or the mega metropolises around the world, they all have been built by the foreigners, whether it's in New York or Milan or Paris. If you look at the New York, it was built by the Irish, Greek, and Italian. So, South Africa has to accept that, foreigners are bringing wide variety of the skills, which is highly required in South Africa, one. And secondly, when the foreigners are coming into South Africa, they have a fresh set of eyes, and they see everything as an opportunity. That's why you see so many foreigners have succeed into the business world. And also, if you look at the corporate world, there is many companies, those are doing so well. Why? Because they look at the opportunity and they have a different angles to look at it. And from that point of view, I think one need to understand that this variety of skills are coming into South Africa and getting a new, fresh of competition building up. It's only good for the country.
Yes. Now, there have been accusations, that, for instance, let's talk about, your country of origin, Pakistan, where people are saying, yes, we can see that this Pakistanis making it, but can't they share with us in terms of the strategies and tactics of managing these businesses?
Well, I mean, it's happening all the time. But of course, you have to create the platform. And I think the current MSC is looking at to create the workshop where the people can learn from each other experiences. And this, what you have just said, has been the sentiment for the many people we are sharing. I mean, I personally run a IT learning center in a Deep Sloot. I have my own cricket team. We're sharing the skill, we're imparting our skills and hobbies into the country. And I think it's just not the platform that we have not been given to showcase. I mean, within my family, we have 17 projects running into the different townships, including the Deep Sloot as well as the Soweto. And we do a hell of a huge amount of the work as a foreigners in the country for the social and welfare. So there is a lot of things has been just.
Okay, let me take John. John, you're in Cape Town. Welcome.
Yes, Mpo.
John.
What I wanted to ask Mpo is I'm also from Zimbabwe. And I really know that the foreigners, they do contribute a lot to South Africa. It's vice versa. Also, South Africans, they appreciate the foreigners being here. But my question was, maybe I was thinking, like you said, the people who don't have documents, some of them, I think some groups also, they will resort to some also dodgy deals because they are not getting the papers. They missed the opportunity in 2010. Is it not maybe better also for the government to also maybe grant people who really want to stay in South Africa another chance to be here, that rather than deporting them, then they will still come back because the economic conditions, they still don't allow them to stay in their own countries again.
Okay. Thanks very much, John. Maybe let me just give you an opportunity to comment on that. He's also saying he's a Zimbabwean, but is there a feeling that South African government perhaps needs to open another window to register or document those that have not, asked for documentation?
Like I said before, Mpo, I don't know where foreigners like me are getting it wrong. It's a very simple process. You are in your country of origin, you get proper documents that are going to enable you to migrate from your own country and immigrate into another country in a procedural manner. You see? Because if we look at Southern Africa in general,
Yes.
countries in Southern Africa are not facing any war pandemoniums. It is pressure from the meltdown of economies of different countries that is, you know, that has actually resulted in this huge influx of foreign nationals in South Africa.
Yes.
So if it were for the reasons of war, I would understand that somebody, you know, was fleeing from
Yes.
Zimbabwe
You
to
didn't
South
have
Africa.
time.
You didn't have time.
Yes.
But since there is no war in Southern Africa, why are people not documenting themselves from their, you know, countries of origin? You see, they are just making everything complicated for absolutely nothing. Okay. Economic refugees actually should come to South Africa in a proper procedure. And if they are documented, if they are given work permits, then they can go ahead with looking for greener pastures. You see? Yeah, it is only refugees that run away from war from their countries who just come unexpectedly.
Yes.
And they're treated well. They're given, you know, what is called the refugee status.
Status,
And
yes.
there are countries that are actually listed on the refugee status list because of war.
Yes.
And because of economic, you know, challenges. So for one to say a person from Southern Africa should come to South Africa without proper documentation and expect the South African government to document them here, I think is just asking for too much, honestly. So hence the reason why the government has emphasized on Operation Fiela and they've included the deportation of undocumented, you know, Africans.
Do you support,
especially, you know, those from Southern Africa? I absolutely support Operation Fiela.
do you support
People who are here, foreigners who are here illegally, are actually quite injurious to the South African society. How would a person come to South? I mean, how would you expect somebody to come into your house and you don't know who they are, where they are? You should know them.
Okay, hold the thought there. Beth, you're in Delmas. Hello, Beth.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello, it's Bev here from Delmas.
Yes.
I'm actually an ex-Zimbabwean myself, and I travel to Zimbabwe a lot, and I know the plight of the people there. There are tremendous amount of people coming to South Africa. Is there no way that the South African government can issue a card with a barcode with that person's number on it and some form of documentation? Because these asylum papers are rubbish. There is so much fraud going on with that and work permits. Is there no way that, because believe you me, they stay here for a while, earn money, go back home, then they'll come and work a bit and sell their wares and so on.
Okay.
Is there no way that the government can get down to the bottom of this and please give people a proper document that they can be stay in the country without being victimized by the police?
Okay. Let me just get this from you. Are you in any way engaging with government to try and ensure that some of these processes are a bit user-friendly, if one may use the word, if what Beth said is anything to go by?
I think there is a point, and your question is if you are engaging, we're only 2.5 weeks old,
Yeah.
so we still like getting, and we had a call from the presidency, and of course we'll be working with the interministerial committee as well. But coming back to the very important point, and also what the colleague has mentioned and the Beth is mentioning, is the people influx of the people coming from the border. I think we got a huge problem there, because South Africa, you cannot blame the government, you cannot blame the ANC, because it's a new phenomena in the post-apartheid area. Before, you never had the refugees because the border entry was very controlled. Now the people are just pouring into the country. And South Africa has been very unique. When people say people in South Africa are xenophobic, I feel very hurt because I work in township, I see the people are beautiful, very hospitable. It's a very unique country in a way that anywhere you have refugees coming into the country, whether it is a war or any other reason, they're crossing the border, there is always, by the United Nations, there is always a refugee camps.
Okay, hold the thought there. Eunice, you are in Pretoria. Welcome.
Oh, Amber and your guest in the studio.
Yes.
My comment is that I'm a black person in terms of color or brown, you name it. Our own government told us, they didn't ask us, they said South Africa belongs to everybody who lives in it. Now the people are here. Now when the people are here, meaning that they are South Africans. Now the government is dividing because those that are here, they don't give them permits. So they want job, they want to live like other people. There's competition, people are suffering. Mandela meant to say that he is a father of all African nations, as we have seen it. So we must accept that we are the mother country of all these three children. I've never seen whites making a line for asylum. I've never seen the Chinese nor the Indians. It's only blacks and blacks. Why not give these children their right? ID, all of them. It's all I can say. Thank you. Bye.
Okay, Eunice. All of them, IDs.
I think, there is a distinction to be drawn that, like, you cannot have the people just crossing because of the green pasture coming here. And I'm sure you're aware of it. There is more than 9 billion youth between the age of 5 to the 25. And that will be within a few years, it will be touching around 15, 16 million. And that is going to be the additional burden on South African, the economy. So I think one need to be very pragmatic. Yes, emotionally, yes, we should incorporate, give the amnesty and incorporate that it's supposed to be happening now. Okay. But in the future, what needs to happen, the border control is very, very important. If we're not going to stop it, we're going to have a problem in South Africa.
Did you say you supported Operation Fiela?
Yes, I do, because I think the safety and security is a paramount important for every foreigner, even South African. I'm South African now, 22 years in this country. I totally support it, but there is a fine line to be drawn. That thing is moving toward the victimization. And I think if it's continued to be targeting only the foreigners, then I think one need to take a stance against it, and there's some need to ask questions to the authority. But we fully, as a foreigner trade union, we fully support it. Law order must be, must be in place. Okay. But it should not be a victimization.
All right, thank you very much, gentlemen. Unfortunately, we've run out of time. That was question time. Have yourself a wonderful time. Goodbye.